we've had the Bitcoin ETF approval from the SEC, and I'm sure you've heard of the term buy the rumor, sell the news. And of course, it is in alignment with the sun soon moving into Capricorn to set solid foundations within the crypto market. So welcome everybody, my name is Kelita Sahliah. If you're new, I am a mother, a real angel, and of course I dabble in crypto. So over here we combine astrology of the sky in alignment with the crypto market and some gematria to see what may or may not be happening. So if you are new, we usually go over the anything that happens on the world stage with gematria. We then look at the astrological story, and then we do the technical analysis for Bitcoin, XRP, and the DXY. So let's get into it anyway. It's not going to be the longest video because my children are still not well and I'm still recovering myself. So anyway, he makes me laugh. Gary Gensler or Gary. So yeah, it's been approved, and I feel everything happens at perfect timing. There's like perfect timing because everything runs on an algorithm. So I do want to just show you a little bit of the gematria before we get into the astrological story. So we're getting Bitcoin ETF here with the 103 and 40 in Chaldean. So oh, I also wanted something come up a lot about that 59 in one of my previous videos. What was it? Oh, I cannot remember. But like, wasn't my last video probably a couple videos ago? We were getting a lot of 59. What did I do? What did I do? I'm actually gonna take a look. SARS. What was I talking? This flying avocado cat. Okay, flying avocado cat. So interesting, do check out that video anyway. But getting back to Bitcoin ETF, a few things it linked to that I found interesting. We've got Bitcoin Cash as well, of course, that will be part of it. We've also got Mercury. Now, why I find this important is because Mercury is all about energy exchange ultimately, but that's a lot about money too. Mercury is mercurial, it's monetary. It's all about money, the winged god Hermes. So again, Bitcoin's Mercury is in Capricorn. So that's why this video was here, because I wanted to bring awareness to this. Check out Bitcoin's birth chart so you see all of its placements and see how it like fully sits in our collective society. It's interesting, so check it out. But Bitcoin is basically right on track, doing what it needs to do to lay the foundation within the collective. So another thing that I found interested, it linked to, is the golden age. So yeah, there's a lot of talk obviously about we're entering into this new golden age with this Aquarian technology, as we are moving steadily into the age of Aquarius from the age of Pisces. So I find that interesting that that connects as well while Bitcoin is doing what it needs to do. We've also got this oh, I spelled it wrong. Biblical ending. I just find this funny because obviously 2024 is going to be an interesting one, and confirmation cough, and Bitcoin's getting ready to do what it needs to do at the beginning of the year. Like, there's no coincidences because everything runs on an algorithm. 103, an algorithm. So I find it, there's no coincidences. We also had bridge closed, millions as well. We had twin flames, we had circle of life, and there were just some things I found interesting. But the last one is, we're going to use the other gematria calculator. Oh my gosh, these ads. So we've got Bitcoin ETF, and in Hebrew we're getting 324. So I also would like to bring awareness to this moon calendar. We're getting the exact same 324. So I just need to bring awareness to my calendar, and this is the calendar that I'm using now. And then of course when April starts, we'll be going through this calendar. There's physical and digital copies, so do grab it if you would like to, because again in this video, oh, let me show you, so many, this one, Leave the World Behind, it signaled important dates that I feel we really need to be paying attention to. So it is the full moons during Mercury retrograde. So as this Bitcoin ETF links to moon calendar, it's all an algorithm. So even astrology, though it's nature, we use nature, the actual sky, is still highly advanced technology that runs on an algorithm. It's locked in the sky, and it's literally running on an algorithm, just like the what's it called, just like the markets. The markets run on an algorithm, so astrology's in there, so do grab this if you would like to. Okay, anyway, let's get into the astrological story and then the technical analysis. So not much is happening at the beginning of this cycle. We were leaving this no moon, new moon energy, where price likes to find its resistance. So price would have more than so found its resistance now, so we will take a look at that in the technical analysis. But excuse me, confirmation burp, is definitely found its resistance. And remember, buy the rumor, sell the news, and the news has come out. Okay, the news has come out. So we're flipping energies here when with this first quarter moon, as where we will begin to move into the full moon energy down here, and of course I'll speak more about that on this Sunday, the 21st. But anyway, we are flipping in that energy now, coming from the resistance and getting ready to find its new support. So we've got the Sun entering Capricorn and Venus entering Sagittarius. So when it comes to the Sun, this is basically the ego. It's the lens that we're now operating through. And the reason why I link this to the crypto markets is because astrology impacts the chemical elements within our bodies, because I see us as light fractalized and then densified into matter. This fractalization has all the chemical elements in there, and it causes reactions in our body, which causes us to act on certain things. And of course in this case, it's acting in a certain way when it comes to investing, because we the people move the market. Well, when I say we the people, everyone, even the whales and the bankers, is basically everyone moving the market. So they will be operating through this Capricorn lens now. So Capricorn is all about solid foundation, stability, sturdiness. So it could be slow, but it's doing it for a long-term oriented goal. And as I said, Bitcoin's Mercury is in Capricorn as well. So the way Bitcoin exchanges its energy is Capricorn like. It's based on that long-term goal. Okay, so what I'm kind of seeing here, because Capricorn is an earth element, I'm seeing that it's a bit more slow movement. So we've got Capricorn in there till the Sun enters Aquarius on the 17th of February. As I says, if you are not familiar with these dates, this is what's happening in the sky, not mainstream astrology. So I'm seeing more slower movements, but also downward movements. And why am I seeing downward movements with this is because the market needs to find its structure. It needs to find a good structure, good support to give it that momentum to reach that long-term goal. So it's like we may see the market going down, as well as, because we're coming out of this resistance energy, getting ready to find our support. Okay, so I'm seeing the market will be retracing, because you buy the rumor, sell the news. So the news has come out, so the market is getting ready to retrace, but in a way to set up its solid foundation for its long-term goal. So I do want to say, wherever the market wants to find its support, the greater the pullback, the better the launch, I guess. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. And then we've got Venus entering into Sagittarius. So Venus, it does cover money as well, but it's all about our six senses: sight, taste, touch, hearing, smell, as well as intuition. And of course, that's about Sagittarius. It's about that new focused direction, but it is a fire sign. So the market is water, money is water. So this again is why I'm seeing more downward momentum in the market, but that downward momentum is still showing this is the precise direction we're going in, because once it sets up its support, it will know that direction. Sagittarius is the last fire sign, so it's very mature. So along with Capricorn, of knowing, okay, Capricorn has a lot of Saturn energy in it, because Saturn fuels Capricorn, and that's about structure and discipline within your time. So it's like, it's not the easiest luminary to work with, Saturn, but it's telling me that that discipline and that structure is needed. Sagittarius, that mature fire sign, even though the market's going down, in its maturity, it knows, like, okay, having this structure set up, this is proving the direction we are going in. Okay, that maturity to set these solid foundations. And I feel this is how people may be acting within the market. So that's basically the gist of that. It's looking like, as I said, selling the news. Selling the news, and that's okay. We're getting close to the last best, lowest price opportunity to get into the market. So of course this is not financial advice, and I am not a financial advisor. However, there's still time. There's still time. So do let me know if you like this perspective of astrology and how I see it in relation to the crypto markets. But yeah, as I said, it all runs on an algorithm, so there's no coincidences, and the market being water just goes a little slower when it's fire elements kicking in, and earth. So fire and earth. Whereas if it's wind and water, we may see more volatility in the market. Yeah. And when I say volatility, there may be like a noticeable drop down, but I still feel it's coming through a place of sturdiness and maturity with that flame. But anyway, and I do, let me just quickly show you this before we get into the technical analysis. So you see here we've got the sun. You can see the date. Where's the date? I always lose the date here. Oh, it's at the top. 14th of January, as you can see. We've got the sun right here. So this is the sky live. It's showing you the exact places where the luminaries are in the sky. As you can see, Pluto's close to the sun. The sun right now, today, it's still in Sagittarius, and of course at the end of the cycle it's going to move into Cap. Can you see here? Capricorn. So again, this is why I don't really fuck with mainstream astrology, because they're done saying that Pluto's at the end of Capricorn, but when you look up, it's not there. Like, it's just not there. Right, let's get into the technical analysis. Let's give it time to load. I don't know why it always just falls on shib. Are there any other coins anyone would like me to look at all? And I know I says, oh, it's gonna be much tidier next time, but my children have been ill. I've just really not had the capacity, so this won't be a long thing at all. So anyway, as we can see here, let's just take a look on the lines. I will put the moon phases up at the end. Probably won't do the 200 RSI today. So we can clearly see that the resistance was here at 47. I believe it tried to reach to 48. I don't think, like, I think we had a wick up. We'll check the candles after. But you can see here that this clearly was its resistance. I'm not drawing no more lines because I've already got the lines there. And its last trading zone for its support is looking like 31. So as you can see, we've got the dotted lines. we've got touch points here. Price broke under it, and then found its resistance at that level. We then tested it again. How many days? So from here, when it broke, we touched that point after 400 days. Is that 436 days? And then of course we were there, and then after 530 days, that's when we finally broke out of it, after 530 days. So within potentially 649 days since we broke down below there, we could be retesting that area. So just that, this simple line alone, this buy the rumor, sell the news, it's seeming like Bitcoin could easily, retest this zone. And I feel that that would be a healthy structure, because if you just look, it's just gone up. It's basically just gone up. That was just, no, there was nothing there, and it's hit this resistance. So it needs to come back down and find support. We may get a little trading cluster at around 37, so 36 to 37, before it probably comes back down to this 31 zone. Yeah, 30 to 31. Now there could be a potential it comes lower or not. So we'll see. If price does go lower, we could, it's potentially more like a fast wick down and then back up to this zone, because this 31 area seems more like a solid zone. As look, it's like it's a long amount of time. Okay, so it does seem like a solid zone. So if it does go below that, it's potentially will be a wick, and it may not stay there for that long. But of course, if that happens, we do this every Sunday, so we'll see how it goes. And I feel it's super far on the daily from the luminaries anyway, so I like the fact that, let's just zoom in, I do like the fact that they're getting ready to cross, and they're soon going to cross. So Saturn, Pluto and Mercury will be above Venus, Neptune and Uranus. So when they flip, it's a bit more bullish. Yeah, it's a bit more bullish. So obviously that's getting ready to do it, but it's super far away from it anyway. So by the time it potentially comes back down to this zone, it's pretty much these luminaries would have fully crossed over, and price literally may find support on the luminaries moving averages as they move up as well. So that's what I'm seeing there. Let's just take a look at all the message drawings. Forgive me. So as you can see clearly, it just hit this zone. I think it was it last video I extended this box, and I was like, we could be rejected off here and come down, or we could push up that bit further, but it seemed to have struggled to even get to that point, which is interesting. I thought Bitcoin would have just tried to show off, but it got rejected. And as you can see, it's below this little triangle it was trading in. It's below it now, so we may find more rejection for it to come back down. Again, this is another zone, this 37, before it breaks it lower at 34, and then we're getting 31. So yeah, let's just take a look at the actual candle formation. So yeah, we had, look at that rejection, we had a lot of indecision happening here, and then a heavy sell candle, and we are trying to gain a little bit of strength right now. Yeah, not that much, but we are trying to gain that little bit of strength. We may get rejected off of this green triangle to then come back down to this level at 37.9. The RSI on the daily, it is below the 50, so there's a potential to just retest that little 50 before coming back down lower. And of course it is it was heavily, well, it was overbrought here. Look how it's overbrought here, but price just went up further and further. But the RSI is slowly coming down, so it's showing me that yeah, it's slowly coming down, so that's interesting. Anyway, let's take a look. Let's just have a quick look at the W time frame. So the RSI and the W was heavily overbought, so yeah, that's showing me, okay, we've had two tops. Just looking at the RSI now, look, we had this big triangle top, and this is where price was there, and then we've got these two little triangle tops as well. So, and price is looking like it's getting underneath this yellow moving average, so that could be something to bring it down once it's ready, because we are more overbought. So yeah, all in alignment to come back down to this line. Sure, let's just take a look at the 4 hour. We probably won't look at the 1 hour today. So yeah, as you can see, we're getting a clear rejection off of this green line. We're getting a clear rejection. So yeah, but on the 4 hour we're quite low, so we may hover here for a bit before getting rejected further down. And price may find a little support on here, but it may get wedged in between the two of them once it reaches this first level of support. So it's going to be interesting. As I says, I'm seeing, just like it's by the rumour, sell the news, and we're getting ready to, we're entering into a fire element, so it's a bit weaker. We're getting ready to set solid foundations. It's moving just a bit more slower, taking its time. People may be thinking, what's going on? But it's laying up the strongest foundation. So that's pretty much what I'm seeing for Bitcoin. I'm not seeing, I feel it needs to complete its downward structure, and as we were trading above, within this green line, we only had wicks underneath it. So this is telling me something quite significant, the fact that we're now trading underneath it and we're meeting it as resistance instead of support anymore. So yeah, we may be going down to 40k. It may find little trading cluster here before it gets wedged between the luminaries at this 38 region. And of course, if we're pushed down further underneath this luminary on the 4 hour, your next leg is 31. Now do keep in mind, obviously, there was that 55 days, 50 to 55 days before the Bitcoin halving in April. So of course the Bitcoin halving, this is the other calendar, do grab it, Bitcoin halving's coming in April, so 50 to 55 days before that, of course, is February. Oh my knee, it's Feb. So this is kind of showing me from now till then, we're kind of finding our bottoms. We're getting another fire full moon here. So this is telling me this could be our deeper correction down, because fire and water don't really mix. Okay, it don't really mix. So that's what I'm seeing there for Bitcoin anyway. Do let me know. We'll go on the moon phases after for Bitcoin and XRP. But again, interesting on the hour, we are underneath the luminaries. It's seeming like they want to cross over. So they want to flip. We had Saturn, Pluto, Mercury above, but it's looking like they're soon going to flip over. And price is being rejected on the hour time frame from the luminaries as well as this green line. So we may get that little momentum up looking at the RSI, but that momentum could literally be that rejection off again this green trend line and the luminaries. So when we check the DXY, we will see if crypto has that potential to just move up that little bit before obviously coming back down. Yeah, and I still feel we are still in this new moon energy, because what's the date today? We're 14, and it lasts 5 days after. The new moon energy lasts 5 days after, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got up until Tuesday the 16th anyway, where price may still want to be finding its resistance. So it may be trying at the beginning of the cycle to still find its resistance. So do keep that in mind. Yeah, keep that in mind. Let's jump onto XRP. Let's jump onto XRP of the Huji. Ugly drawings. I'm not even gonna say when I'm gonna tidy it up. I'm just gonna shock you, and it's gonna be like the neatest. It's gonna be the neatest chart ever. So, just looking at this time frame and the W, interesting, very interesting. We just had some indecision, a full blown. Look at that wick, all the way down to 48. Excuse me. So that's super interesting. Yeah, because I generally thought, oh, we probably won't get a XRP lower than 60, but no, proved me wrong. XRP is just amazing, I guess. It proves me wrong all the time. But yeah, this RSI, we could potentially be getting rejected on the W time frame at the 50. It's like we're back testing it. We could get a rejection off there to then come down. So clearly this is like the resistance for XRP. Let's take a look at the candlesticks for the daily. We're attempting, there's a little attempt to go back up. As I says, even on the daily we are here. There's a potential of trying to reach back up on the RSI to the 50, and we could be met by another rejection. That's a possibility, unless XRP is just ready to move by itself and come up a little bit further. I guess we just have to wait and see, but I find it interesting how it literally just dropped all the way down to find support off of Neptune. To find support off Neptune. Who's XRP's Neptune? It is Aquarius. So XRP's Neptune is Aquarius. So that's just interesting by itself. There is a birth chart reading done for XRP as well, so check that out if you would like to. And I do offer personal birth chart readings if you'd like that as well. But anyway, I just want to look at the line. Look at that, whatever that is. What did that hit? Let's put the drawings up. Okay, so it broke lovely to the downside of this green triangle. Again, I thought, oh, because the way it's going, is it ready to break out to the upside? But no, it broke to the downside, which is interesting. But I'll be honest, I feel it creates a good support structure anyway, because it's basically retested this as support. So this area where it was getting rejected from, and it was its resistance, it eventually broke out in October, retested it, and then it hadn't retested it since. So what price has done, which I feel is healthy, is come back to retest this zone. So it's just like, it's interesting, we fell underneath this red trend line, and this red trend line goes ice cream truck all the way back until 2017. Just wait for this truck to be quiet. Yeah. Oh, can you hear it? So I don't even have ice cream. It's a cow. So yeah, it's finished now. So basically I find it interesting that it was trading underneath it, and then it kind of spiked back up to trade above it. It is trading above it now, so I don't know. I feel it will go back under it, because I feel it's retested it here once, tapped it twice. This wants to do it at least a third time. Like, at least a third time, and it may attempt to do it 4 times. So or we could literally get this slow moving trade down into February for it to retest it that third time. So I'm potentially seeing we're either dropping straight through. As Bitcoin moves, it just falls lower, another leg lower back to 54-ish. Or if not, this slow Capricorn energy it's just getting rejected, and it's hovering down. Could even go to 53 and retest this a bit lower at 53. That could be a potential. So yeah, and if it goes lower, I don't know, just like Bitcoin, it may just be quite a quick wick. Like this zone 50 seems enticing and quite psychological, but it depends if it breaks below this 54 to 53. That's definitely its last support level. And of course I am liking though that the luminaries are crossing over, so again, it just shows me wherever price wants to go, as the luminaries move, it may just tap and gain its support on that. It could well be 50. So I don't know, I'm keeping in mind 50 to 54 cents for XRP. If we go lower than that, then everything's just questionable, because at this point, even if price wants to just chill here, or even here at 50, we would still be creating a slightly higher low. So that would still be good in the grand scheme of things. But of course, if we literally go below these luminaries, and there was a wick, we wicked down, but wicks aren't the body of the candle. That's why I like looking at the line. Then it's just questionable. And of course, we have this wick. We have this wick, and my knee. We didn't do it here, but we hovered down close. So could this be a similar pattern? We've had this quick fast wick down, it touched 42 cents, and then it was brought back up and it hovered and it made this, didn't go as low as the wick, but it came, it went down into it again. So are we having something similar? We brought up a little bit of a trade in, we went up a bit and then we come down. Could we be seeing another leg down to at least that 52 region? So it may not, like the body of the candle may not trade as low as this wick, but we could easily come back to this zone where price just wants to trade into. So it is interesting. Let's just take a look at the 4 hour. So on the 4 hour we are underneath we're underneath the luminaries, but of course this is still above this one, but obviously its price is below both of them. So we could, well, if there's a potential for upward momentum, we could get rejected right there off Uranus. And again, if you look at the RSI, that could be XRP moving up into the 50 to get rejected, to come back down again. But it is finding support off of this zone and this red trend line going back till 2017. So it's definitely finding a little bit of support there. So is this break of 57 really? This break of 57 may get us trading down to this region again, 53 to 54 cents. Quickly on the hour, then we'll check the DXY and we're closed. So on the hour, the luminaries has switched for its downward momentum because Uranus is above. So again, on the RSI, it's kind of showing me that we are above the 50. We may get that little bounce up. That little bounce could be price getting ready to be rejected off of Saturn, failing to create a higher high. So that would be something we'd like to look out for. If it cannot get above this zone, which I feel it just won't, because we hit it, we went above a little bit, it attempted and then had a big fall. So we may try to attempt and then get rejected off this 60 cents to then come back down. Yeah, it just seems healthy if it goes to 53 cents basically. Let's take a look at the DXY, and then after the DXY I'll put the moon phases on for XRP and Bitcoin. When it wants to load. Oh, come on, computer. So okay, so the DXY, it's still heavily in its downward trend. The trend is your friend until it ends. But what I'm kind of seeing here on the daily off the RSI is looking like a bit of strength. You see it's pointing up. Let's just zoom in because we don't need all the other noise. It's kind of pointing up, so we are underneath the 50, but it's like it's done this little tiny little double bottom on this tiny little resistance or support. Yeah, I'm seeing the DXY seems like it's got a bit more strength to push to the upside, and I feel the candle wicks wicked to this zone, but in terms of full price action, I'm seeing it's getting ready to test this zone again. Confirmation call, and it could push through it. It could push through it to get rejected or attempt this Saturn, Pluto, and Mercury basically. That's kind of what I'm seeing with the DXY. It looks like it has a bit more strength to it. So looking at the actual candle wicks, yeah, price is being supported. It's sitting on Venus right now. Venus is the orange line, so it's sitting on that and it's getting its support. So that may be the thing to push it up to touch Mercury and Pluto. Bear with me. Is it not there? I did. The two of them was put there. So see. So yeah. Forgive me, my mum needed help with something. So yeah, my brain's lost. Let's just take a look on the 4 hour. See wagwan. See wagwan. So on the 4 hour, oh, the luminaries seem to be crossing. I don't know, it's really seeming like if we're not rejected at this level again, 103, look, 103, what were we getting in Gematria? 103, algorithm. So I generally feel price is getting ready to go to here. The market is closed for the DXY right now, so it's not moving. So that little potential upward movement when it comes to Bitcoin and XRP, that's probably going to happen today when the market's just not open. If price, because we haven't made a higher high above this zone, price may want to retest here. So it will be interesting to see what it does really. If it retests this zone, giving crypto that little tiny little leg up while it's still in this finding its resistance energy, and then after getting that like double bottom, it may go on up, potentially giving us a head and shoulders. So if we just get this little brush, one shoulder, ugly, head, and then it may potentially create its other shoulder here. And creating this head and shoulder pattern, we'll then have we'll see how it goes. Yes, no, or she. When it wants to break out of it, we could go higher, as I was saying, when it wants to come out of this zone. And look, it breaks out higher and it hits the luminaries. So yeah, if anything, if we just get that last little, like, okay, find resistance, find your support, find your support, this finding of the support could potentially be that extra shoulder, so then push it up further to see how it responds to this resistance level up here, with the luminaries. And this move up is when crypto is obviously getting ready to secure its foundation and direction in maturity, getting ready to find its bottom and its new support. That's potentially what I'm seeing. And of course, this may not be in one move. We could go down, we could tackle this area, and once breaking through, we then go up. So it could go throughout January going into Feb. We'll see how price action moves from this point, but that's potentially what I am seeing. Quick look on the hour. Okay, so yeah, on the hour, it seems as if we're getting wedged between the luminaries. We're getting wedged, and of course, Uranus, Neptune and Venus is above Saturn, Pluto and Mercury, so it's showing downward momentum. Of course, this is only on the hourly, so it could be temporary, but we are wedged between this price, so this could be the thing that just makes it want to create that other shoulder properly. Yeah, so that's what I'm seeing. That's what I am seeing for the market. So let's just get rid of you, and put on, where are you? You. So, oops. This way, my darling. This way, my love. This way. So clearly, this was our resistance for, oh, that's the DXY, wrong thing. I need to go on Bitcoin. So this was our resistance. I find it funny it's at 50. I find it funny it's at 50, but yeah, we've had our resistance in, it's found its resistance. We may go that little bit up to really try and attempt it, but this is our resistance zone for Bitcoin. Of course, when this no moon, new moon comes in, could it potentially be lower than this one, but higher than this one? That would be interesting. Or would it be lower than this one? Ooh, because 31's there. But will it go to 31 straight away? Or, forgive me, will it go to 31 straight away? Or could it be reaching 31 when we're in this full moon energy? Because the Leo fire energy is just not really the best. It can be when it's ready. When it's ready. But it may be quite that deep correction. So interesting. Anyway, an XRP, yeah, as you can see, its resistance was here, fully there, and then price like, nope, coming down after this indecision in the market. So again, the next full moon is clearly going to be underneath these two. I feel it will be. Will it be lower than this one or equal? We'll see. We will see. But with that being said, of course, do grab this calendar. Follow the moon calendar. It's got all the transits in there and everything. Where is it? Yeah, it's got, oh gosh, wrong thing. It's got all the stuff in there basically. I don't know where it's gone. It's probably underneath this one. So do grab it, of course. Yeah, here it is. You can learn from it. You can follow the moons. It's got all of the moon dates and everything, retrogrades, and this is what we'd like to be paying attention to. So do grab it, people. You know what I mean? Do grab it. Grab a reading from me if you'd like, and do let me know if this was helpful. And yeah, I'm basically seeing It's a sell the news type of vibe. Sell the news vibe, and crypto is getting ready to make its structure. It's getting ready to make its structure for continuation. So the last best, cheapest buying opportunities are basically around the corner. Basically around the corner. So we'll see how it goes. But with that being said, if you did like this, do give a thumbs up, leave a comment, let me know, give me some feedback. And I didn't even say what Crypto Angles podcast this was. Is it 42? I think it's 42. 4 and 2, 6. Change in the material. Getting ready to create that structure and foundation within the material. Next podcast will obviously be 43. So 7. Source. We'll see how that goes, and I'll see you in the next one. Angel out. Bye. Kisses.